Tottenham winning the Europa League could genuinely change the course of their future forever. It could change their reputation forever. Now, everyone knows the Spursy tag, right? Lads, it's Tottenham, this kind of thing. That has now gone. They've won a European final. They've won an absolute crunch game against Manchester United Football Club. So that tag, that label, can no longer be applied upon them. And that's huge. That is a weight off the shoulders not to have that, right? This is their first European trophy since 1984, first trophy in 17 years. I would argue, though, Ollie, because it's not just a trophy, because it's an entry into the Champions League, because it's 100 million quid, because the stakes are so high in terms of financial revenue, I would argue this is was the biggest night in Tottenham's history and the biggest day and the most important event since they last won the league, and I think it was 1961. I would argue, forget the FA Cups, forget the previous European triumphs, because of what this means, I would argue it's the most important day. You also chuck in the fact that they're going to be in the European Super Cup against PSG or Inter in August. There's a chance for more silverware. Their stadium is a stadium for the next 100 years, right? Daniel Levy put so much into that because Tottenham's stadium is a stadium for the next 100 years of the football club. Set in stone, sorted in London, can host other events. They're a London club. They should be able to attract the biggest talent. This is an inflection point in history for them. And this could propel Tottenham right up to the top of the summit of English football.
That's a big could. That's a big if. It's definitely not that easy. What it is, I agree with so many of those points. It's the opportunity of the UEFA Super Cup, which, as you say, it's a piece of silverware. It's a piece of continental silverware, if they win it. Again, a big if. It's a big trophy in the brand new trophy cabinet at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is an incredible stadium, and they finally have a trophy going into it that is befitting the arena that they've created. It's a big momentum boost being in the Champions League. Obviously, it's a big financial boost, and it's a big draw for players to potentially bring in. The summer window looks so much better for Tottenham Hotspur if they're willing to spend some money. That's another big if. To be propelled, though, to the top of the Premier League and be fighting for a top 5, considering what we've seen from this year, and I know they've had injury problems, particularly on the back end of the season, but that's a bigger if. And I think that in a Premier League, which the last time we spoke, Dave, we were talking about how it's easier to win a Europa League than it is to fight for the top 5 in the Premier League. That's a huge if for Tottenham. And I don't think this sets them up for that enough to make it a guarantee, particularly with what we've seen from the manager in the way that he won this final and the manager in what we've seen from the last